Hi Schumann, this is my demonstration of my Rails app, which is called Get Plant Game. It's a CMS for showcasing plant and gardening tips. So this is the home page. You've got a navigation bar up here with home. Get Plant Game also goes to home. You can choose to sign in, or if you don't have a sign in, you can register. So I will show you a demonstration here. So if you want to sign in, your email and your password. And it welcomes you to your dashboard. You can, once you're in your dashboard, you can create a new plant listing, which takes you here. So it's a listing to create a new plant tip with the title and what you need to know. So you can do plant tip, test. This is a plant tip, and submit. And it takes you back to the home page, but you're still logged in. And there's your plant tip there at the end. If you wanted to go back and make another one, you can return to your dashboard and you can make another one. Or you can go back. Even from your dashboard, you can click home and just choose to view the plant tips. When you're ready to, you can log out and it just returns you to the index page again. If you want to register a new user, you could go new user at new.com, password confirmation, and create the user. And then you're now logged in as the new user and you can see the tips. You can go to your dashboard by clicking on new user up there and it says welcome new user. If you, there are error messages, so if you just put new password and a password that doesn't match and won't create user, you get these error messages. Email must be valid, email's too short, the passwords don't match. This is the same with the plant tip. So if I sign in, if I go to create a plant tip listing and I don't put a title and I just put this, it says the title is too short. Or if I didn't put anything, it would say the description was too short. One issue I did have was getting my errors to show up in the sign-in page. So if I left nothing and I just put, the page just resets back to new, so my error messages don't show up. The page is fully responsive, so if you make it mobile size, it all changes, which is great. Even the menu changes and rolls up into itself. So I'll have a look at my code. the routes. Routes were created for each grouping. So plant, user, plant, registrations, going into a new session, destroying a session to log out, and the ways to create new plant listings, and setting a root index. So there are controllers for plant controller, registration controller. So this is the plant controller. It defines what's on the index, how to create a new plant instance from the plant variable, how to save a plant listing, and the plant params that are required, and what is permitted. So title, image description, the registrations controller, how to create a new user, saving the user, and what's required in the params. When it saves, redirecting it back to the root path. Creating a new session, so logging in. So first, in the create definition, it finds the user by the email params, and if they're present, it authenticates with the password and then redirects them to their dashboard. And then there was a method to destroy, to end the session, so you could log out. That's connected to the logout button. So if we go here, we've got our dashboard, which has, if it's the current user, it welcomes them based on their email. We've got the plant index. So there's a loop here to go through each plant and print out the title and the description. I was trying to incorporate an image here, but the image is saved in active record. The image is saved as a URL. Oh, it actually hasn't saved it here because I've pulled the image out now. But I had saved the image as a URL. So you've got your image here, URL, and I couldn't quite figure out after much Googling how to take that URL and convert it to render the image. But this loops through each instance of a plant listing and renders it to the screen. And this is the form to create a new plant listing. So it uses a form with the model of the plant. It's got a partial, so it renders errors, which are down here. If there's any errors, and you can see the labels here, title, description, submit button. Very similar for registering. So it uses the model for user. It's got shared errors from that partial. And it has a password confirmation. And again, similar to sign in. So these were my notices to flash up from the sign-in page, but for some reason it did not work. This is the nav bar, which is a partial and is used across every view page. So I put it in a fluid container. I divided it up into two main divs so that once the user logs in here, it looks for if they're a current user. It will display their email and give them a logout button, or else, if not, then it still continues to show register and sign in. So once they log in, it changes over to this section here. So they still have home, and then they have this section here. What else can I show you? So current user is attributed to user. Listing is something old that I actually deleted. So I've just missed deleting that one file. Plant it belongs to user, so that's the relationship model. And it validates, this is the validation of when people are filling out the plant listing form. So the length has to be a minimum of 1, maximum 500. And the description, a minimum of 1, maximum of 1200. The user, the relationship here is, it has many of plant. It has a secure password, and it validates with this regex, the email format. I incorporated Bootstrap as a requirement so that I could style a little bit the view pages. I've got my migrations here, so plants, create users, and listings was one that I didn't end up using. So it's just a redundant file now. There's my schema. And in assets, I saved an image plant pattern, which I've used on the home page. So that's everything that I have to show you.